Project Gemini was meant to develop space travel techniques to support Apollo's mission to land on the moon. These techniques consisted of rendezvousing, docking, and perfected working outside of the spacecraft. Project Gemini took place between 1961 and 1966. It launched the USA ahead of the Soviet Union during a space race. Unfortunately, 3 astronauts died in training and cost the USA $1.2 billion. The astronauts that participated in Project Gemini are the following: L. Gordon Cooper, Virgil Gus Grimson, Walter M. Schirra, Neil A. Armstrong, Frank Borman, Charles P. Conrad, James A. Lovell, James A. McDivitt, Thomas P. Stafford, Edwin H. White II, John W. Young, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, Eugene A. Cernan, Michael Collins, Richard F. Gordon, and David R. Scott.
Project Gemini 1 and 2 were the first unmanned missions of Project Gemini, and Gemini 2 was a suborbital flight just to test the heat shield.
Gemini 3 was the first manned Gemini flight. Gemini 4 included the first spacewalk and was 22 minutes long. Gemini 5 was the first week-long flight and the first use of fuel cells for electrical power. When the Gemini 6 mission was canceled because of its target for rendezvous and docking failed, Gemini 7 was used for rendezvous instead. Its primary objective was to determine whether humans could live in space for 14 days.
Gemini 8 accomplished the first docking with another space vehicle. While docked, a Gemini spacecraft thruster malfunction caused a near-fatal tumbling of the craft.
Gemini 9 was rescheduled from May to rendezvous and dock with an augmented target docking adapter. After the original Agena target vehicle failed to orbit, the ATDA shroud did not completely separate, making docking impossible. 3 different types of rendezvous, 2 hours of EVA, and 44 orbits were completed instead.
Gemini 10 had the first use of the Agena target vehicle's propulsion systems. This spacecraft also rendezvoused with the Agena target vehicle from Gemini 8.
Gemini 11 made a record altitude with a peak of 739.2 nautical miles, or 1,369 kilometers. This was reached using the Agena target vehicle propulsion system after first orbit rendezvous and docking. Gordon made a 33-minute EVA and 2-hour stand-up EVA, with a total of 44 orbits.
Gemini 12 was the final Gemini flight. It rendezvoused and docked manually with its target Agena and kept station with it during EVA. Aldrin set an EVA record of 5 hours and 30 minutes for 1 spacewalk and 2 stand-up exercises, and demonstrated solutions to previous EVA problems. There were 59 orbits completed.
The main purpose of all the Gemini missions were to prepare astronauts for space and rendezvousing, and it all worked. Have a nice day.